So if you get too caught up in the money and the success and the career and all this other stuff, and that's really gonna just make everything wonderful. No, it won't. Take it from somebody who knows. Man, the trade-off. I've seen people get so caught up in their careers that they would like be like, I don't have time to have any kids because I want to get this promotion. And it's like, okay, now you're 48 and you ain't got no kids. And you did that. Why? Well, because you wanted to impress your boss, because you wanted a really good job. I'm not saying that that's bad. I'm just saying I don't understand that trade-off. I imagine your kids are more important than that job. But somebody convinced you that the job is more important than your own children. I don't. That's capitalism. That's capitalist pimping. That's what capitalism does. Um, Will Smith was talking about. Will Smith is just great because he just. I like Will Smith. I know people make fun of him and stuff, and he's a trooper. He's dealing with it, you know. But Will Smith, wise guy. I told you I never met Will. I met his brother Harry, and we talked for hours because we had such great. He was such a smart. They have a smart family, and I liked when he was talking about his lack of balance and the price he paid for that. He said, when I was in my 20s, all I cared about was being the biggest star I could possibly be and making as much money as I could be. And I gave my family whatever time was left. I was like, well, whenever I get time, I'll spend time with my family. And he said, when you are obsessed at that level to be that excellent at something, there is no time left. There is nothing. You give everything. Just like in that movie, she was taking everything from her shadow self from the other part of her life to try to become the best version of herself that she could be, right? And he said that's why I got a divorce. That's why my family fell apart. That's why I had these problems, right? And what he learned over time was you have to have some balance. And so if you're gonna be, I think that if you're ambitious, you shouldn't just be ambitious like when it comes to like one thing or like your career, but I think be like picking like 4 or 5 things that really matter for you, 4 or 5 things that can define your life in a balanced context, and be really ambitious about those 4 or 5 things, right? Like I got kids. I'm ambitious about making sure my kids are loved and raised and nurtured to the best ability possible. So when I'm focused on that part of my life, I'm going to read the books. I'm going to take the classes. I'm going to spend the time. I'm going to give the encouragement. I'm going to give the training because this is important. This is part of my life portfolio, right? What else? I want to also be healthy because if I get old and fat and sick, then Big Pharma is going to come along and take all the money I made anyway. So to protect my wealth, I'm going to make sure I go to the gym and go, run a 5K every now and then and do some jumping jacks and do things that are going to keep me healthy so that I don't just lose everything to Big Pharma, because it doesn't make sense to acquire all that wealth just so they can take it all back, right? And so in that area, I'm going to be really ambitious. And then you make room for the wealth drive, like the paper chase, right? Money's fun. Money is so much fun. I'm telling you, I've had some and it's nice, man.